There was a fisherman who lived in a small coastal village where the sea was both cruel and generous. His name was Chen, and he had fished these waters for 40 years. Every morning before dawn, he would push his weathered boat into the dark waves, cast his net, and wait. But Chen had a problem that no one in the village spoke about, though everyone noticed. He never let go of his catch. While other fishermen would haul in their nets, sort their fish, keep what they needed, and release the rest back into the ocean, Chen kept everything, every single fish. The small ones that weren't worth selling, the sick ones that would spoil before reaching the market, the rare species that brought bad luck if kept. He hoarded them all in his boat until the wood groaned under the weight. His wife would plead with him each evening as he returned with a boat sitting dangerously low in the water. "Husband, why do you burden yourself with fish you cannot sell and we cannot eat?" Chen would shake his head and reply, "What if tomorrow the sea gives nothing? What if this is all I will ever have?" The other fishermen tried to reason with him. The village elders shared ancient wisdom, but Chen's grip only tightened. He built larger nets, he bought a bigger boat, and still, every evening, he returned with a vessel so heavy it could barely make it to shore. Years passed this way. One morning, Chen noticed something that made his heart sink. His nets, once strong and reliable, had begun to tear. The weight of all those fish day after day had weakened the fibers beyond repair. But worse than that, he saw something else. The waters where he fished had grown strangely empty. The sea, once abundant, now seemed barren. The other fishermen still returned with healthy catches from the same waters, but Chen's nets came up lighter and lighter, no matter how far he sailed or how long he waited. Desperate and confused, he sought out the oldest fisherman in the village, a man named Takeshi, who had fished these waters for 70 years. Takeshi's boat was small. His net was simple, yet he always had enough. "Teacher," Chen said, bowing his head, "the sea has abandoned me. What have I done to deserve this curse?" Takeshi looked at Chen's elaborate boat, his massive nets, his collection of containers for storing fish. "Walk with me to the water," the old man said. They stood at the shore as the sun climbed higher. Takeshi picked up a handful of sand and held it tight in his closed fist. "What do you see in my hand?" "Sand," Chen replied, confused. "How much?" "A handful." Takeshi opened his palms slowly. The wind immediately began to blow the sand away, grain by grain. "No, you're losing it!" Chen exclaimed. But Takeshi smiled. "Am I? Or am I returning it to where it belongs?" He knelt down and scooped both hands into the sand, letting it flow freely through his open fingers. "When I hold tight, I can keep only what my fist can contain. When I let go, all of this beach is mine. I can return here tomorrow and take another handful, and another. The abundance never ends because I never try to own it all." Chen stared at the sand, then at the ocean, then at his own clenched fists. A lifetime of holding tight had given him nothing but torn nets and an empty boat. The next morning, Chen went out to sea as he always did. But this time, when he pulled up his net, he did something he had never done before. He sorted his catch. He kept the healthy fish that would feed his family and sell at market. Then, one by one, he released the rest back into the water. His hands trembled as the first small fish slipped through his fingers. Every instinct screamed at him to hold on, to keep it, to hoard it just in case. But he remembered Takeshi's open palm and the endless beach. He released another, and another. It felt like loss at first, like watching his security swim away. But then something unexpected happened. His boat felt lighter, his net felt stronger, and his heart, which had been tight as a fist for 40 years, began to open. The next day he did the same thing, and the day after that. Within a month, something miraculous occurred. The fish returned to his waters. Not just a few, but schools of them, abundant and healthy. The other fishermen noticed too and asked what had changed. Chen smiled and said, "I stopped trying to own the ocean." His nets, no longer strained beyond their purpose, lasted for years. His boat moved swiftly through the water, and his catch, though smaller each day, was always enough, more than enough, because he had learned the secret that the sea had been trying to teach him all along. Abundance flows to open hands, not closed fists. The truth is simple, but hard to accept. We cannot experience abundance while clinging to scarcity. When we hold tight to everything out of fear, we create the very emptiness we're trying to avoid. Our relationships suffer when we refuse to let people grow and change. Our opportunities vanish when we won't release outdated beliefs. Our joy disappears when we hoard moments instead of living them. Like Chen, we must learn that letting go isn't loss, it's trust. Trust that the ocean of life is vast enough, that tomorrow will bring its own catch, that open hands can receive what clenched fists never could. The fisherman's wisdom lives in all of us, waiting to be remembered. What are you holding too tightly today? What abundance might flow to you if you simply opened your hand and let the current guide what comes and goes?